let's discuss about the brand new Marshal Infantry hero that's coming into the game that we can all see, which is going to be Queen Dido, completely free to play to earn. You just log in during the heroes audience and you're going to get her. You can see I'm on 4 out of 5, so on the 5th day you're going to be able to get her for free, which is kind of lit. But is she going to be any good? That's the real question. We kind of showcased this on a earlier video. Check that video out, a little pinned little comment up on the top there, and it will explain everything in the new Empire Bounty event and upcoming events coming to Age of Empires Mobile, right? So Queen Dido, though, today's main topic, is she gonna be any good? And we're gonna explore the whole avenue because Marshal Infantry, let's be real, aren't known to be the strongest of formations to be running. Very free-to-play friendly because obviously they are all obtainable through the tavern, being the samurais, and then you've got Julius Caesar as well as an extra option. But Queen Dido, is she going to be any good? That's going to be today's question. So smash like, comment, and subscribe, and let's dive into today's video, right? So Queen Dido, support recovery Marshal Infantry. She has a pretty okay skill on Hey Commander skill. 300 rage cost isn't too bad. It is a little bit more expensive compared to the glass cannons that run more of a 250 to 200 rage in some scenarios, but she does recover units onto your troops as well as increasing the skill damage of all your heroes. And this is where things get really interesting because you could try and argue, do you put a primary? But I'm going to say no straight away, and we'll go into that when we get into the hero section, but I'm going to say no on the primary, and you're going to understand why. Because when we go into her main skills, we do have the abundant state for 6 seconds on your troops. While you're in that abundant state, though, you have a 35% chance to recover units when taking damage, once to be triggered per second, and upon entering battle, you're going to reduce skill damage taken by your troops. This doesn't say it has a timer, so this just says upon entering, meaning who knows how long this lasts for. This could be for the remaining of the battle. It could be 6 seconds also. We don't know, right? We have to wait until we find this out. However, it does give you a 25 activation chance on this hero. And the one thing that does pain a lot of us to wonder is what the stars are going to be, because unfortunately there is no plus icon here, so I cannot check out the 1, 3, or 5 stars individually. However, as you can see though, there is the preview of 1, 3, and 5, and each of the upgrades is all onto this main skill, which means to me that you honestly just want her in a secondary or even 3rd slot in the formation, because all the power is in this skill. It's nothing to do realistically with her commander rage skill, which can easily be replaced in the future, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see what she's going to do, because the thing is, if one of these increases that 25% chance to like 30, 35% chance, that's going to make her very more desirable, because obviously it's going to increase the consistency of that skill triggering. Then you can imagine these skill boosts is going to be either increasing the recovery rate or increasing the amount of damage you reduce in battle when you enter battle, right? From the bottom line attacks, right? From reducing skill damage taken, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what she does. She might even add a 3rd line of text. We don't know. That's where a lot of people are discussing, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on what the 1, 3, and 5 stars are going to be. So in the comment section down below right now, start typing 1 star this, 3 star this, 5 star this, what you think it's going to be, and we'll see if anyone is correct when they come out, right? It's going to be a little fun video there. But when we're going into her other skills now, we've kind of got some decent options to go down, because even if you don't think she's going to be good, you could still unlock one skill, which is going to be supplies transportation. It would just turn this hero into a pure gathering hero with this skill and the efficient harvester. So people might like that, and people might just want to use it as a gathering hero. That's why I'm saying that. However, anyone else who has a little bit of hope, a little bit of pessimism in there, a little bit optimistic right? In the formations, we do have Kingsblade, Peaceful Haven, and Protracted Battle, which is really cool. I personally think I'm going to go down the Kingsblade and Peaceful Haven route because Kingsblade is basically what her commander skill is. It's increasing all of her heroes' damage, which is really good because now we definitely don't have to worry about running her primary. And then Peaceful Haven honestly does give you that extra reduction. This is going to be really powerful because if you have a massive amount of reduction in your troop lineup, instead of getting hit for 100,000 damage, for example, by a Lubu, even if you've got a 40% reduction, well, they've just lost 40k, guys. Literally, it's that easy, right? So massive reductions do help you a lot. And I think, honestly, reducing damage is more beneficial than actually recovering units in the game. Recovery is just nice. It does allow for sustain and higher damage over time. But reducing damage, especially for a tankier based match, feels like the way to go. So I would go for Peaceful Haven Kingsblade setup on her, and I would ignore the Protected Battle if we were going to use Queen Dido here in the lineup. Now, who would I start to pair her with? That's the real question, because if we go into our heroes, we can go into the filter, going into the Marshal, Swordsman, hitting the confirm button. We literally have 4 heroes. We only have 4. And that is a really upsetting feature with Marshal Infantry, right? And even if you have been using them, the Samurais just really do not pack up a punch compared to the other infantry in the game. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? So, the main thing that everyone's looking at, and even is Julius Caesar, right? Julius Caesar in the primary slot could do a lot of work. Why? Because even his major skill deals might damage up to 3 enemy troops, so he's got some great AoE, but then he also increases all of your heroes' damage. It's insane. So everyone's getting a boost anyway with this hero, so which is pretty good, because then, yes, the Dido's not really going for massive damage abilities, but she's going to do a little bit of extra punch compared to normal. But then the third commander that you're going to be running here is going to be more of a damage-based commander. It's going to allow you to actually take advantage of this in the lineup. I would still run Savage and Kingsblade. You could change this out potentially for something else. We're going to obviously dive into that later on. But Julius Caesar definitely would be the prime contender in this slot. You're going to have him commander with Dido, either secondary or third. So who's going to be the other commander? Because we have Tokugawa, we've got Toyotomi, and then we've got Oda, right? And I love Oda. Oda's a really cool hero, right? So which one of these are going to be the one that you're going to go down? Well, let's break it down. Tokugawa is more of a support recovery hero. So to be honest, I'm going to eliminate him already. You could go down this route. Let's be real. You could try a Queen Dido Tokugawa with Julius Caesar, and that could be a very hard-hitting match with some really good sustain recovery. But I don't think you need that in this match. You're not taking advantage of Julius Caesar's increase on all damage. And why we're saying that is because when you look at this, this recovers your units, reduces your troop damage taken from normal attacks only for 6 seconds, and then it increases, obviously, our Julius Caesar's main attribute, which is kind of nice, making him do a little bit more damage. But when you go into the more skills, we have Protected Battle, we've got Kingsblade with Peaceful Haven, and then Entrenchment, right? So these are the options we've got. We would most likely going down the Peaceful Haven Kingsblade option again. So you can see we don't really have too much damage in the kit. It's realistically just not there. So this is why I would eliminate Tokugawa. So now we've got the options. Do we go down Toyotomi, the active-based infantry hero, or do you want to go down Oda, the turn-based infantry hero? And this is where things could get technically interesting, right? Because with Oda in the lineup, it deals might damage to the enemy troops every 9 seconds with a 70% chance to dealing 3 instances of might damage. So he's basically a turn-based version of Mulan. That's the best way of kind of dumbing it down for a lot of people, right? Every 9 seconds, you're going to hit someone, then 70% of the time, you have a chance of just going bang, 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 a triple hit following up, right? Kind of cool. Especially if Julius Caesar is increasing the amount of damage you are dealing in this March lineup. When you go into the more skills, we do have stuff like Savage, so we can double Savage people with even stuff like Whirlwind Sweep to increase the amount of might damage our heroes dealing. So again, he is basically steroiding himself, dealing a ton of damage and working with Julius Caesar, right? And then Queen Dido is in there to just support, to reduce the amount of damage you take and just keep that match out there as long as possible. You got access to Kingsblade too if you want to go down that route, but I think Savage Whirlwind sounds like a very disgusting combo with the Julius Caesar in there, right? And this might then beg the question, is it going to be more beneficial then to run Order secondary? Because if you do, it means turn 1, Julius Caesar is going to do his skill 1, go into that, right? Turn 2, it's going to be Order's turn, and Order's going to have a more quicker time of triggering this damage on after the Julius Caesar buff. So that could be one thing you want to do, right? And then it will go into Queen Dido. Alternatively, you could make this happen at the end, ensuring his damage might go off, but what's more important is the Savage could then be triggered later on, allowing that Julius Caesar to obviously get more value out of it, right? To get a bit more damage guaranteed. So there is that synergy there that you could be doing with Julius Caesar, with Queen Dido, and Order. And I think that's kind of interesting for me. Some people are very interested though, and I see it too, in Toyotomi, because he is an active based infantry hero, and when you look at his skill, he'll deal 1 instance of might damage at a 30% chance, but then increases the next signature skill, damage dealt by your hero with the highest might. What does that mean? Well, that easily means when you hit this skill off, it's already a guaranteed steroid into the Julius Caesar skill, allowing his, might damage to be accelerated to deal even more damage than he's already doing, right? Because he hits like a truck. 400% compared to anything else at 200% is crazy, right? So you can see why this is more of a funnel build already into him with just one skill of Toyotomi. And when you look at his other options in that arsenal, we have Peeler Strike, we've got Bloodthirst, but then what I really enjoy, we've got High Spirit and Furious Charge, allowing us to just get the activation chance up, get the ball rolling, and then when we're doing that, we're getting paid off by actually increasing our damage. So even then, our little hit here is hitting pretty hard, which is kind of sick for Toyotomi here, right? So really, really interesting lineups when you look at it, because at the moment, let's be real, Toyotomi with Oda and with Tokugawa, it just doesn't do enough. It really doesn't. It's sad to say, and a lot of players, including myself, wish these heroes got a buff. Just a small buff, just to make them a little bit more viable, even in Season 1 and Season 2, so maybe by Season 3 and onwards, they might start to fizzle out, because these heroes are really cool. I'm going to be honest, I think they look sick. I love the whole story of them, the lore of these warlords and generals in the game. It's just, they're not that great, unfortunately. So that's what we think on this channel. That's what I think anyway on this subject with Marshal Infantry and Queen Dido, the one you're going to be able to log in for 5 days in Empire Bounty event, and you're going to be able to earn her in game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, all talking about her, about her skills, her matchups, what we could be running in the formations in regards to obviously Julius Caesar, Toyotomi, and then obviously Oda, right? So I've enjoyed it. Smash a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see me do more of these types of videos where we theorycraft, have a little bit more fun, a little bit more open discussion on these heroes and their future chance on how good they could be. Smash a like, comment, and subscribe. Until the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky, guys. Peace out.